Joining me now is Yair Reiner, founder and CEO of Gowanus Kitchen Lab in Brooklyn, inventor of the Frywall Splatter Guard, which manufactures in China. Yair, thank you for coming. You told the New York Times that President Trump's tariffs would kill your business. You didn't sugarcoat it in what you wrote for the Times. It was at 104% then. Now he's raised it yet again.
It was at 54% then.
It was at 54%.
Yeah.
So what happens?
So if my costs double and I don't raise my prices, I'm going to lose money. So I won't do it. So I need to raise my prices. And when I penciled things out as of yesterday and my costs were going up 54%, I would have had to raise the price, average price of my doodad, the Frywall, from $25 to $30.
But now at 125% tariff?
At 125% tariff, I don't think that there's a price that I could put it in the market where people would buy it. I would have to price it at $40, $45. No one's going to buy a splatter screen for that much money. And the problem is, it's not just that I'm going to be out of business. It's that, when we buy something, let's take this back, 2 months ago when I was buying this, the product itself from $5 from China and selling it here for $25. The $20 between what I buy it for and what I sell it for, that doesn't go into my pocket. It goes to the postman who picks it up and takes it and delivers it to your home. It goes to the great designer who's made this packaging for me. It's gone to the law firm that helps me protect the IP and the patent that's right on the back of it. There's a lot of money that gets the $5 that we send to China actually creates $20 of economic activity here.
So, say that again, because one of the things that has been presented with the whole idea of this is that it's actually costing the American economy money because you had that made in China.
Look, the reason that entrepreneurship is strong in America, the reason that I could do this here in America is because we have a vibrant consumer market. We have stores like Amazon that allow a small entrepreneur like me to all of a sudden go out and get the entire country. We have great software platforms like Google and a bunch of accounting platforms that allow a business like mine to efficiently run rather substantial P&L from one's desktop. We have great patent laws that allow me to protect my patent so people can't rip it off. Yeah, you can kind of find some patents, some rip-offs, but for the most part, I can actually protect the invention that I made. That's what makes America great. And that is why the $20 of the $25 sale price of this stays in America. So we are actually sacrificing all that great stuff that is worthy of American jobs. The software engineers, the designers, the lawyers, the companies like Amazon, we're sacrificing all of that to get the last $5, a lot of which isn't really that attractive. And the thing is, I would love to make this in America, right? It seems like it's relatively simple. It's a silicone cone. I don't think there's an easier product you can imagine in the world. But the fact is, this is made of silicone.
Okay.
In America, we don't make this type of silicone. We haven't. So we have to build a factory to make the silicone. Who knows how long that will take? We don't make the mold to make this type of product. We don't even make the presses to press the molds. How long will that take? Is it possible? I don't know, but I'm pretty sure we're not going to get there by changing our trade policy every other day. So for the short term, I can leave China. I have relationships with the factory in Taiwan. But can I move there if the pause is for 90 days? The uncertainty makes it absolutely impossible to not just invest in America, but invest anywhere. And it's not just me, obviously. I'm just a simple entrepreneur making a simple product. But I don't understand how even a large company can dream of investing in America where some of your input costs are just a big question mark.
But can we talk about entrepreneurships because it has been a driver. You don't have to be Steve Jobs to create one of the biggest, most successful companies in the world that has become, frankly, an addiction to all of us, to help the economy, create jobs. Doesn't have to be somebody working in a factory, doesn't have to be somebody who's in your shop even fulfilling. You mentioned all the other people, but just the idea that ideas could actually come to fruition and lead to other ideas. Does that go away with this?
Well, I'll tell you that I had.
Would you, if you came up with this idea now, could you do that?
Right now, I'd be scrambling. I'd have no idea what to do. And I'm actually in this position right now because I have another product that is just a couple of months away from launching. And, when you have a product, you can't just decide, randomly what price it's going to be at. You actually think about the price, the consumer price, from the moment that you invent it. Because if you have a great product, but it's going to sell for 2 times what people are going to be willing to buy, you don't have a product, you have an idea. So I developed this product. I worked a lot with the engineers to figure out what the price could be so that it would find a market. And it's all penciled out. And then all of a sudden, this is in Taiwan that I'm making it, there's a 34% tariff. Well, there goes my business model out the window. Well, now it's back to 10%. Do I press on the gas again? I don't know, because maybe 90 days, the business model changes again. And it's not like I could
let me take Taiwan, because I have a sheet in front of me.
Yeah.
It was 32%. They charged the U.S. 64%. Now it's 10%. Who knows, right? What's next?
The thing is, if I were to know it's 10%, it's set, I can bank on that, then fine, I go forward. But if it changes, then no, because, if you work with this product I'm making, you have to invest in molds. There's investment that's a hard investment that you don't get back. It's not as though I'm making a product for 90 days. I'm making a product that I hope will sell in America for years to come. And I can't make that investment if I'm not going to get a return on it. So right now, until there's clarity and there's stability, it's impossible to make a business decision. For a new product, much less even to know, like, how much product should I order for the fourth quarter and the holiday season. Are consumers going to have their hair on fire like the business community does right now?
And is that a decision you would be making now?
It's a decision I'll be making in the next couple of months. I actually have an order into China that's halfway done. And now, I spoke to them earlier this week. I said, hit the pause button, to put things in the warehouse, and we'll see if and when it goes on a ship. Right now, the several tens of thousands of dollars I've spent on that inventory, is more likely to just be dumped than brought back home if I have to pay 120% tariff on it.
It's really important for us to hear the real world experiences. And Yair Reiner, for people who want to know more, I recommend they read what you wrote for the New York Times. And a lot of folks looked it up on my team and said, why didn't I think of that? So we wish you luck, and we thank you for coming in.
Thank you.